This video is called Really Gucci? Really? This week we are now faced with another incident where Gucci puts out a sweater that is supposed to be rolled up and look like blackface. This video is going to be 3 reasons why corporate apologies don't work, and in this particular case it will be an epic failure, is my personal prediction. Here's the first reason corporate apologies don't work in general. Number 1, there's an expectation that people know better. Meaning that if you've just lived and worked in the United States for any number of years, you should be familiar with the expectation around why blackface is an offensive way to depict African Americans, and specifically an offensive way for white people to depict African Americans. Now, notwithstanding that that's an expectation that's largely held and very reasonable, we are currently in the week where the governor of Virginia is being held responsible for pictures in his yearbook, and others are now coming out with pictures in this yearbook, which means that the timeline and the media has been flooded with further evidence of why blackface is offensive. So Gucci, if you were going to do this, and you were going to do it in a week when all of this is already in the media, you will be held responsible. And the magnitude of all of that coming together also sheds light on the fact that you could potentially have done this on purpose. That's not going to go over well. Second reason why corporate apologies don't work. The sheer volume of people who had to sign off on this particular decision before it hit the airwaves makes everybody complicit. This is not something where one person sat in a back room and posted a picture on behalf of the company. This was a product that went through production, that had to have been signed off to be invested in, had to have been produced, had to have then been marketed. Somebody, photographers, stood and took a picture before somebody hit send and uploaded it to the internet. The sheer volume of people who participated in this decision means that it wasn't an accident. Third reason why corporate apologies do not work, and I predict it will be an epic failure in this particular case, is that companies underestimate the long-term exponential value of what ban Gucci and boycott Gucci actually means. It's not just that the African American community will embrace it, and I am not suggesting that every single person in the African American community will embrace it. I'm not saying that. I applaud T.I. and Spike Lee, love you guys for what you've done to bring this to the forefront. But what the companies, and maybe Gucci in this case, and Prada, because they too have had to recall one of their figurines, what they have underestimated in this case is that not only will people in the African American community be held accountable to not wear Gucci, but white people, white celebrities, random white people who now wear Gucci will be held accountable because now they will be considered to have been complicit. It's kind of like when you say all lives matter. People hold you responsible for the choices you make. And so it's not just going to end up being a ban inside or a boycott inside the African American community. It may in fact end up being something that people hold other people accountable for. And that is the exponential impact that people underestimate when things like this happen. So that's it. That's my take, my personal opinion. Tell me what you think in the comments. So like, share, subscribe, and comment on other things you want to hear about on our channel called Race at Work, Working While Black.